select Sauce Gardner.
Sauce Gardner is a New York Jet!
Swaggy Sauce Gardner.
I love Sauce. I love his tape. I love his press technique. I love his confidence. He has everything you want to see in the position. And I think Robert Saleh in this scheme is perfect. It's a hand-in-glove fit for him, man.
Garrett Wilson.
It's Garrett Wilson! The New York Jets have just got two big-time playmakers!
I believe that Garrett Wilson is going to be the most impactful rookie receiver in this class. And I think we see Zach Wilson play like he did the last 6 games of the year, times 10, and have a phenomenal second season.
Wow, you think? Yeah! Yeah! Let's Jermaine Johnson!
Bryce Hall, running back, Iowa State.
Bryce Hall, oh my God, they got him! They went offense. They went with the best running back in the draft. Jeremy Rucker, oh my God! The Long Island native is a New York Jet!
J-E-T-S, Jet! Let's go!
Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome back to another Jets Media live stream. And today we're going to be recapping everything we saw from last night's Week 2 preseason victory over the Atlanta Falcons. Welcome into the stream, everybody. Hope you guys are enjoying your morning. Victory Tuesday is today. Hope everybody is enjoying Victory Tuesday. Robert Saleh and the New York Jets are now officially remaining undefeated in the preseason. Challenging back to last season. Last year we went 2-0-1, and so far to start off this preseason we are 2-0. Are we going to beat the New York Giants on Sunday to keep up the momentum of the preseason success? But most importantly, we all hope that this translates to the regular season where it actually counts. So shout out to everybody in the chat. Hope you guys are enjoying your Tuesday morning. I appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning into the show. What's up, Jets, Mets, Knicks, Survivor? Love that. I'm right there with you. What up, Matthew? Elena's in the chat. Jets W, baby. Yes. Hope all's well with you in the chat. Thank you for everybody tuning in to the show right now. So let's get right into it. As you guys can see to my left right here, this is my biggest takeaways from the New York Jets game last night. Some positives. Sauce Gardner, even though you wouldn't really see anything from him, but every single rep, they cannot go his way, so that's why I put him on a positive. Garrett Wilson was a positive in his limited reps. Michael Clemens was a positive. Matt Streveler, the obvious hero. Lawrence Cager, Denzel Mims, and Jonathan Marshall. And then some negatives, I have Bryce Hall. Definitely had a really rough day. Mike White was also a negative, did not get into any sort of rhythm throughout the entire game. The entire first half was pretty much a gigantic negative. The pass rush was a big negative. Overall, the defense could not get to the quarterback, which resulted in the defense to not really play good football for all 4 quarters until the last fourth quarter there. And then penalties, the penalties was just ridiculous. I mean, I don't even know how many penalties the Jets finished with, but it felt like record-breaking. Every other play, there was a penalty. And the offensive line was also a big negative. There was no really big-time movement on that offensive line. It felt like every time they handed the ball off, there was nowhere for the running backs to go. Mike White was always pressured. Even Streveler was pressured, even though he was more mobile, was going to be the pressure. Some guys you got to bring up is Bradley Ine as well, who had that scoop and score touchdown run. So he's also a big positive. I couldn't really fit his name in there, but he had a really big time, game-changing play there, getting a sack, picking up the fumble, returning it for 6. And, man, I just feel like this Jets team, a big thing that they need to work on that I'm noticing a trend here is same thing happened last week against the Eagles. They're getting off the really slow starts. That cannot happen in the regular season, man. We need this Jets team to be on the money when the first quarter is under wraps. We cannot wait till halftime to make adjustments. They need to come out with fire and tenacity in the first quarter. And I feel like the last game of preseason against the Giants is going to be able to get a better understanding of that, because our starters are going to be playing against the Giants. Robert Saleh said it's going to be like a dress rehearsal for the players, and expect them to play a bunch of series with Joe Flacco and the entire starting offensive line, because that's one thing I'm a little concerned about. The offensive line starting unit has 0 reps playing together so far in the preseason. So that's why week number 3 is going to be very interesting to see them out there finally. But going by player, the reason why I have Sauce Gardner out there is because in 2 starts for Sauce Gardner so far in preseason, the ball has not went his way once. That tells you that he's locking down his side. That tells you that he is doing what he needs to do. You watch the film, even when the ball's not going his way, he's doing what he needs to do. So Sauce Gardner's living up to that 4th overall pick already early in the preseason. Garrett Wilson had limited reps. I think he was on the field for 2 series. You saw that beautiful catch he had. Didn't really get any separation on that route, but you see the catch radius, you see the hands, you see the elusiveness, what makes Garrett Wilson special, why he was the 10th overall pick. That's why I had to make him a positive for sure. Michael Clemens continues to show that he is going to be an absolute dog for the Jets as a rookie immediately. He was on the field all 4 quarters. He just plays with violence, plays with a sense of urgency. I also noticed the Falcons were double teaming both Clemens and Jermaine Johnson on both edges, and we didn't really get to see anything from Jermaine Johnson as much as Michael Clemens, which is really interesting. And now the big hero who everybody wants to talk about is Matt Streveler. Now this man is now looked at as I don't even know, man. Oh, the music's too loud. I totally forgot to bring it down. Thank you for telling me that. I couldn't even hear it, so thank you for telling me to turn down the music. My apologies, the music was too loud there. But as I was saying, Matt Streveler. If you guys were watching my live stream last night, you guys knew that I wasn't concerned about this team, because I knew when Streveler comes out there in the second half, we're going to win the game. And that's exactly what happens. For whatever reason, Streveler just has a lot of pizzazz to him. He has a lot of energy. He has a lot of different elements to his game. And now a lot of Jets fans are, wondering, could he be quarterback number 3 over Mike White? Are the Jets actually going to get rid of Mike White, trading him away or cutting him to save some cap, and then making Streveler that quarterback number 3? I don't think the Jets are going to do that. I think they still got trust in Mike White. But there's no doubt that Streveler looked like the better quarterback last night over Mike White. And we also have to realize that Mike White did go up against the starting Falcons defense at first. But still, there's no excuse. Mike White didn't really get into any rhythm out there. And he was missing throws, didn't really get into any rhythm. And then Streveler comes out there in the second half and looked like an absolute beast every single time the ball was in his hands, making right timing throws, rolling to his right, rolling to his left, throwing across his body, making people miss in the open field, picking up yards with his legs. I mean, Matt Streveler looked like the quarterback that you want to see in the preseason, making plays after plays. So I love Streveler. You guys love Streveler. We all love Streveler. Now the big question is he going to make the team? We'll find out. Guys, if you're enjoying the show, please do me a favor and smash that like button on your way into the show so we get as many Jets fans in here watching the stream as possible. Whether you're watching this live or you're watching this on replay, I do appreciate you guys tuning in to Jets Media. I'll be posting a lot of content this week leading up until the final Jets preseason game against the New York Giants, which kicks off at 1 p.m. at MetLife Stadium on Sunday. I really do appreciate each and every one of you guys. We got 15 likes as we're live right now with 50 people watching. So do me a favor and smash that thumbs up button if you're not already. And of course, if you're new to the channel, do not forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Streveler's decisive and confident. These are high quarterback qualities that even Zach hasn't yet fully figured out. Yeah, I feel like what Zach Wilson's development is going to be in year number 2 is exactly his decisiveness and his confidence. That's what we want to see from Zach, is having a sense of urgency out there where you can tell that he's poised. You can tell that he's not overthinking things. And Streveler had that, aura to him where he stepped onto the field. He had a sense of confidence to him. He had a sense of knowing exactly where the ball needs to go. And that comes with experience. And I feel like Zach Wilson, in year 2 in the same system, he has to show that in year 2. He might not show it immediately in his first game back, whether that's week 1, week 2, week 3, because he's missing valuable reps. But over the course of year number 2, we need to see Zach Wilson being exactly decisive and confident for sure. Marshall made his presence felt. Yes, he did. On back-to-back plays, Jonathan Marshall gets a sack, and then the next play, he blows up a screen for a tackle for a loss, looking like an absolute monster. The second-year defensive lineman is trying to make his name worth to make the 53-man roster. There's going to be some cuts later today, which is going to be interesting to see there as well. Tinster says, no, he didn't, Richie. Streveler has 0 arm strength. Yeah, Streveler definitely doesn't have a cannon of an arm. He doesn't really have any zip to the ball, but he does have touch. He does have accuracy. He does have mobility. He does have pocket awareness. He does have athleticism. He has a lot of fun qualities that I feel like Jets fans are gravitating towards in Streveler. But you're right. He doesn't really have any arm strength. I also like the way he runs. Yeah, he runs with the sense of just putting his helmet down and just sprinting. Doesn't really care about anything else. I love it. Streveler looked really good. Mostly played against second and third stringers, though. We should def keep him and see how he develops. Yeah, I mean, this guy's a journeyman. He doesn't really have any opportunities to, stay on a team for the long run. So maybe he could find a home with the Jets. Someone said that Streveler reminds them of Matt Ryan. Streveler kind of reminds me more of a Taysom Hill that has a better arm, if that makes sense. What you think about Cager last night? Making the roster. He's got size and speed, but is there room? I love Lawrence Cager, man. I've loved Lawrence Cager since he was undrafted and was brought to the Jets a couple seasons ago. I love his transition from wide receiver to tight end. He definitely shows some quickness and some speed out there. He's a matchup nightmare at that tight end spot. Now, the big question is who's going to make that tight end number 4 spot? Is it going to be Kenny Yeboah? Is it going to be Trevor Wesco? Is it going to be Cager? Out of all the players last night, Cager looked the best. Wesco had 2 penalties. Yeboah had a drop. And Cager had a touchdown and another big-time reception. What the heck happened to Bryce Hall last night? Yeah, so Bryce Hall had his worst performance I've ever seen him. But I really hope that Jets fans don't look at that one game from Bryce Hall and now think he's just a bum all of a sudden. Because Bryce Hall played 17 games last year for the New York Jets against starters and had a phenomenal season. And he's going to build on that. And he's also a depth piece for the New York Jets. It's going to be Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed as the starting corners with Bryce Hall as the backup. I feel like he definitely had a bad game last night. He was going up against Kyle Pitts and got beat deep. And then there was multiple times where he got beat over the middle, beat on the edge, gave up a touchdown, had a holding penalty. There's no sugarcoating Bryce Hall's nightmare performance last night. But I'm not going to take that performance and think that now all of a sudden Bryce Hall is just a terrible player at all. I think he's still going to provide a big-time depth. He's going into year number 3, technically year number 2 because he did not really play a lot in his rookie season. He'll be fine if I had to guess. I'm a big Bryce Hall believer, and I think that he's going to have a really good season this year if his name is called. He's not going to be as talented as Sauce or DJ Reed, but I think he's a perfect seed number 3 on this team. When the starting offensive line plays and the running game gets going, it will be bananas. Yeah, I sure hope so, man. I feel like it was hard to evaluate the Jets' offense in the run game last night because the offensive line just got blown up after being blown up over and over and over again, where Bryce Hall had 4 carries for just 1 yard because it felt like every time Hall got the ball, there was no blocking for him. And also, Hall didn't really have a good vision of the field and knowing where to go with the ball. So I feel like when Bryce Hall gets on the field with Michael Carter and the starting offensive line, it's going to be a completely different ball game with AVT and Lincoln Tomlinson up the middle, with Fenton Brown on the edge on the tackle spot. So I feel like we got to wait to see what this offensive line looks like as a starting lineup, and I'm excited, man. Do you think Hall was targeted? Yeah, it definitely felt like he was targeted because they didn't want to go to Sauce. Sauce Gardner did not get targeted once. Sauce Gardner still has yet to be targeted once in the entire preseason. The Jets looked like they were playing a ton of zone, and the guys out there were unfamiliar with each other. The lanes were massive. Yeah, I mean, it felt like every time the Falcons dropped back to pass, there was a play action, and there was a wide open player in the flat. And I don't know what type of defense that Ulbrich and Saleh are running out there. I don't know if they're just being vanilla on purpose because it's preseason with the Seattle 3-base scheme, but they got to get more creative. They cannot rely on the same system because this is a system that's been around for a long time, and a lot of offenses know exactly how to exploit this defense. So hopefully that the Jets defensive minds and Ulbrich and all the guys on the coaching staff learns to adjust and learns to not rely on the same exact defensive scheme. They have to adjust. They have to create some different looks. They have to get creative, especially week 1 against Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Ali Lewis in the chat. What's up, gang? I'm seeing a bit of a young Ryan Fitzpatrick and Streveler, not just in appearance, but he's not elite, but it feels like he can carry the team if need be. Yeah, I feel like he is going to be one of those journeyman quarterbacks that wherever he ends up is going to light up the preseason. I don't know if he's ever going to be good enough to be a starting quarterback like Ryan Fitzpatrick, but maybe he'll be a backup on the Jets or somewhere else, and whenever his name is called, I'll be rooting for him because he definitely looks like a guy that's going to be a beast. I mean, you go back to week number 1 against the Eagles, he single-handedly had a game-winning touchdown drive. Same thing this game. He gets the ball when the Jets are losing 16-3, and then he goes out there and scores 21 unanswered points. I know one of those touchdowns was on the defense, but you can just show the confidence in his presence out there and his demeanor and his urgency. It kind of felt like an energy shift. And another big takeaway I have from last night that I absolutely love is the Jets sideline. Like, I feel like the Jets have such a good chemistry in terms of like as a team where they genuinely care for one another. They're rooting for each other. Like, for example, when Jonathan Marshall had that crazy sack and then the next play had that tackle for loss, the entire Jets sideline was so pumped up for him, patting him on the back. We saw when Ane had that fumble recovery for a touchdown. Robert Saleh was running down the sideline. He almost got a flag because he was on the field. The entire Jets sideline was pumped up. Now, these things go a long way. I know it's not really the biggest deal of the world, like your team should be celebrating, but it is cool to see that the Jets sideline with the young veterans like Elijah Moore and Michael Carter, even the rookies like Sauce Gardner's getting involved and DJ Reed, they're celebrating with their teammates. They're showing that they care. Even though it's preseason, they know that they want to win this game. They feel like developing winning habits is necessary for this team being a very young squad, and I absolutely love the energy that they possess on the sidelines. The Jets need to get some real linebackers. I kind of like the linebacker unit right now with CJ Mosley, Quan Alexander, 2 veterans, with Quincy Williams as the year 2 guy in the system, and then the 2 year 2 players and Hamza Nasruddin and Jamian Sherwood. I kind of like our linebacker room, not going to lie. It's not the best linebacker room we've ever had. There's definitely still some holes, but I'm content. I think it's a whole new type of energy this year than last year. Absolutely, man. You can tell the spark of energy that this team is providing, whether it's CJ Uzomah with his bubbly personality, always being goofy, whether it's Sauce Gardner with his, flashiness. There's a lot of different things. That linebacker core is trash. Come on, Richie. Listen, CJ Mosley had a very dominant individual season last year. Now, it did not translate to the team success at all, but CJ Mosley had the second most tackles by a Jets linebacker of all time last season. We signed Quan Alexander, who obviously is up in age, and he is a guy that's not really, in his prime anymore. And Quincy Williams is a guy that really needs to be disciplined. But I kind of like the development I'm seeing in Jamian Sherwood. I feel like I could have added Jamian Sherwood as a positive. Sherwood definitely looked like a player that is looking like a player that's developing for the long run. Listen, the linebacker unit is probably one of the worst position groups on the team, but I just think it's a lot. I don't think it's as bad as some people think it is. That's just my opinion. What streaming software do you use? This is what is this called? I forgot. Oh, StreamYard. That kid Ane needs to be kept around. Fake an injury and place him on the list. Yeah, he's definitely going to get cut. It's just a matter if he makes the practice squad or not, if someone else wants to claim him. The Jets are so deep at that defensive line position. It's pretty ridiculous. And there's going to be 5 cuts later today. I'm curious to see who those 5 guys are going to be. Ane really did play with a sense of urgency all game. I could have added him on the positive list for sure. So yeah, guys, biggest takeaways from last night. Let me know your takeaways in the chat, or you're watching this on replay. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say down below in the comment section. And do me a favor, guys, if you did not already, hit that like button. We got 24 likes with 70 people tuning into the show. Do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. We need that second half energy all game. That is very true. Now, I don't know if it was the second half because of Streveler or there was adjustments made. I think it was more Streveler than anything else. But there's no sugarcoating that the first half was a big-time bust. And the same thing happened against the Eagles. And we need to make sure, because if we come out flat like that defensively in the first quarter and we're down by 10 points or down by 14 within the first 10 minutes of the game, that's just setting this team up for failure, man. You just got to be able to start the game off strong. The wide receiving core so far has shown us a bright future for the offense. Looks like Denzel Mims still wants to be a starter, as he did well in the game. Yeah, he did do well in the game last night. Denzel Mims, I think, had 3 or 4 receptions, connected with Mike White at the end of the first half to set up the Jets for a field goal. And Denzel Mims looks like a player that definitely still has a lot of upside. I feel like he's proven to make the roster. He's proven to be wide receiver 5 or 6. Now, he's not going to crack the starting lineup because of Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, and Braxton Berrios, so definitely ahead of him. But I think he's going to get an opportunity to play if there's any injuries. Chris Streveler is a good quarterback. Hell yeah, baby. Hold on one second. I just realized there's a big mistake on my stream that nobody corrected me about. And I'm not going to tell you what it is. Hold on one second. One second. One second. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Streveler sees the whole field, unlike White or Zach. Listen, man, Streveler definitely showed that he has experience in this league. And I feel like he's a guy that's going to only prove to be a player that the Jets are going to want to keep, but I don't know how they're going to keep him and Mike White. If they're going to have to choose one or the other. I know that the Jets fan base wants Streveler, but I feel like the Jets coaching staff are not going to want to give up on Mike White. That's just my guess. Not saying that's the right decision or wrong decision. I think 5 is Jeff Smith because of special teams so far. Mims to make it, that's going to be tough. Yeah, Jeff Smith had a bad drop last night, even though it was a high throw from Mike White. But I think it's going to be Jeff Smith and Denzel Mims as 5 and 6. I think we were going to beat the Ravens week 1 and have a great year. Sign me up. Let's go. The problem I thought with the first half was our backups could not handle their starters. Our receivers didn't have any separation. Yeah, I mean, people also have to realize that first half was our backups versus the Falcons starters. So, definitely take that into consideration for sure. Really excited to see Moore and Wilson on the field at the same time. Lots of playmaking ability between those two. Yes, Glenn. Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore are going to be so fun to watch for a long, long time, as long as they both stay healthy. Oh, yeah. I think the closer we get to the season opener, we will need to let the team play more and more OVD the old-fashioned way. Yeah, I feel like the Jets are going to be, Saleh mentioned last night in his press conference that they're definitely going to be rolling out a dress rehearsal for the last game against the Giants where the starters are going to be playing. So that's definitely something to look forward to. We're going to see Joe Flacco out there. We're going to see all the starting offensive line out there. We're going to see all the vets like Carl Lawson making his debut and CJ Mosley making his debut. I know that we didn't have the full number one stringers, but Saleh and Ulbrich will have some answering to do if the D keeps having these sloppy starts. We can't have running backs and wide receivers having these gaping holes. Yeah, it's true. Don't forget, guys, last year, to start off the season, the Jets' defense was good, and the Jets' offense stunk. And then all of a sudden, it flipped over on its head. Whereas, the first couple of games, against the Panthers, the defense was keeping us in that game all 4 quarters. Week 2 against the Patriots, the defense was holding their ground all game, but Zach Wilson had 4 picks. And then week 3 against the Broncos, the defense, they didn't have a great game, but they still made it manageable. But the offense literally, I think, had a field goal. And then week 4 is that game where we beat the Titans. I'm pretty sure. So the defense had a really good start to the season last year, and then the injuries started to pile up, and then all of a sudden the defense just started to just crumble, and the defense went to shit. And then the offense, when Mike LaFleur went to the booth, and then Zach got hurt, and then he came back, the offense really took flight. So it was a tale of 2 seasons last year, and I'm really interested to see if we stay healthy this year, is this defense going to step up big time or not? Let's see it. I thought it was a mistake to sit the starters last night, but since we're going to play them against the Gents, I guess it's okay. Yeah, man, they just don't want to risk injuries, and I can't blame them. Jets ran a vanilla defense. Yeah, they're going to do that in preseason. I think Flacco still has his tank left in him. Yeah, he does, Jack. Yes, he does. When I was at the practice on Friday against the Falcons, man, Joe Flacco was slinging that ball. He was moving around. He still got his legs underneath him. You love it. You absolutely love it. So we are live here on Jets Media. I hope you guys are enjoying your Tuesday morning. The New York Jets get a preseason W last night. LaMichael Pirine found the end zone. Streveler, you already know Streveler's the dog, finding Lawrence Cager for a touchdown. Bradley Anae had it. Here it is, a sack, fumble recovery for a for a fumble 6. And the Jets scored 24 unanswered points to get the dub. You love to see that, man. Michael Clemens was all over the place. Jonathan Marshall was all over the place in the trenches. DJ Reed is going to start over Bryce Hall, right? Yes, Ryan. DJ Reed is the starter. It's going to be DJ Reed on the right side, Sauce Gardner on the left side, Michael Carter the second in the slot, Jordan Whitehead as a safety with Joyner. That's my guess. You feel me? I like Cager doing the wave of the arms after his touchdown in Klecko style. Yeah, Cager needs to make this team, man. I love Lawrence Cager. The thing that gives me encouragement was the reports from the practice sessions on Friday and Saturday. Yeah, I mean, the practice reports were real. The Jets looked like the better team on both days. And a lot of salty Falcons fans were in my comment section saying, like, yo, what are you talking about? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, I was there. I saw it with my own eyes. You don't got to twist my arm about it. All right, guys, so I'm probably going to be wrapping up the stream here. Wanted to go live for a half hour to break down the New York Jets and the Atlanta Falcons preseason game last night. If you guys have any other questions, let me know before we finish off the stream. If you guys are not already, please hit that like button. Really do appreciate that big time. The next Jets game is Sunday at 1 o'clock. Today, there are no practices for the Jets. They have a day off. And I'm excited, man. Which game is the Jets media game? That's week 5 against the Miami Dolphins. Week number 5. Hopefully the Jets, that's after they get through the gauntlet of the AFC North. Hopefully we can be 2-2 for that game or something. Thank you, man. Thank you to everybody tuning into the show. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Just wanted to go live for a half hour this morning to give you guys my thoughts of last night's victory. Victory Tuesday. Hopefully we got more victories to celebrate where it actually counts. And we're not just talking about expedition, and we're not talking about a bunch of negatives, and we're talking about some positives. It felt good to be live during the game last night. Feels good to be live right now. I'll be live during the game on Sunday as well, so stay tuned for that. That does it for this stream, guys. Hit that like button if you did not already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in my next stream/video. Cuts later today. We'll see who gets